In December of 2020, York United FC were focused on signing a young, talented Colombian player. His name? Sebastian Gutierrez. The club and his agent sat down to conclude the negotiations in record time, as both parts wanted to have the midfielder in Canada as soon as possible for him to be able to adapt to new culture. However, they did not anticipate that the coronavirus pandemic will end up affecting their plans in the way it did.
I come from a neighborhood in Medellin called El Picacho, and I love that place. My story with soccer began when I was 5 years old in a small club called La Esperanza. My mom was in charge of taking me to every training session. Those were the first years of my career. I also participated in the Pony Football League and ended up as the tournament's top scorer. My performances there allowed me to enter different academies for professional Colombian teams. And at age 17, I made my professional debut with Patriotas. It was a good time there as well, and now I'm here at York United.
Despite his good performances, the informality that surrounds South American soccer was leaving Gutierrez in a situation where he felt his club was not treating him with respect. Meanwhile, York United saw great potential in his signing, with him only being 23 years old at the time.
I remember it was December. I was at home one day and my agent calls me and says, "Sebas, I've got this offer from Canada. What do you think?" We sat down and concluded it was the best option for my career. Everything was done very quickly. I think it took less than a day actually. He gave me the contract and I signed it immediately, because the team wanted me in the country as soon as possible to be able to have the entire preseason with them. They even began all the paperwork for my visa and work permit, but everything got more complicated with COVID being part of the equation. There were many restrictions for Colombian travelers.
We will be denying entry to Canada to people who are not Canadian citizens or permanent residents.
With these words from the Prime Minister in March of 2020, visa application centers all over the world remained closed until further notice, a situation that mainly affected countries in South America, as these were unable to control the spread of COVID-19. And even though they reopened for a while, the second wave forced a second shutdown that left Gutierrez without the documentation he needed to enter the country.
I had a lot of uncertainty at the time, though I did my best to stay positive, thinking that at any time they will call me and tell me I had my visa. I never stopped training because I'm a professional. But sometimes I did feel down, and it was hard. Thank God I have a wife and a small daughter who were always there, supporting me. They were my support throughout that time.
After waiting for more than half a year, Sebastian finally received his visa and work permit, and so his dream for a better life was beginning to take shape. Sadly, his wife and his 2-year-old daughter are still in Medellin, hoping to be able to get to Canada in 2022. Following a 14-day quarantine, his new home was waiting for him. It was on August 21st that the York Lions Stadium saw him for the first time in a match of the Canadian Championship against Masters Academy.
The club always treated me in the best way possible. They really showed they cared about me, not only as a player, but as a human being. That's why, now that I'm here, I give it my all during training and every time I play.
And that is exactly what he did a couple of weeks later, when the team faced Atletico Ottawa in the Canadian Premier League. It was then that fans saw what he could offer to the Nine Stripes.
Verhoeven drops back and receives the pass from Abzi. Couple of passes between he and Lowell right now. Gutierrez, touch him behind Higgins. Gutierrez!
Seba's come to us, and he needed to get his fitness up. He needed to get those levels up. And the thing is, you don't want to put players in a situation where they fail. He's been great. It does take a while for foreigners to adapt to a different country, a different style of football. And I think he's progressing in the right way, and we're very happy with him.
I want to leave a legacy here. I don't want to be here for a bit and then fans forget I was part of the team. I want to be important for York United, and who knows, maybe that will open more doors for me in the future, But right now, giving it all for my team is the priority.
It has been a very difficult year for Sebastian, but things are starting to pay off. The midfielder is very grateful not only with York United FC, but with Canada as a country, for providing him and his family what he considers to be the opportunity of a lifetime. For Centennial Sports Network, I'm Luis Ramirez, Toronto.